this is Freya from Book Buzzr, and today we are joined by Donna Maguire, author of the Silly Willy Winston series, with 4 books and a 5th launching this month. After close to 40 years in the advertising business, Donna left it behind to care for her grandniece and nephew in Nevada some years ago. She believes that the love for reading is more nurture than nature and reads to her grandchildren often. It is this reading that led her to pursue her lifelong passion of writing children's books. Welcome, Donna. Let's start out with a little bit about you. Would you tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey to becoming an author?
I will, and I might get a little emotional, with this. I basically have been in marketing my whole life, but my one true love in the beginning was teaching. I had a great aunt who was a nun, and 2 aunts that were nuns, and they taught in Catholic school. And I always thought that would be so wonderful to be able to work with elementary, students and teach them. But my life took a different path, and I ended up in advertising and marketing, which is a little bit of storytelling, anyway, because you're marketing a product and you have a target audience. But the children's books are just something that just brought me back to life. I ended up in Nevada because my nephew had passed away, and I was there the day he was born, and I was the day he passed, and it really took a very big emotional toll on me. And I found that I wasn't able to be as effective in marketing and advertising. His brother's out here in Nevada. He has 2 babies, Olivia, who is almost 3, and Aiden, who's a year and a half. And he said, just pack up, come out here and help me take care of my babies. So basically that's what I did. And, you might not have children, but you have dogs, and they're very much like children. You cannot be a curmudgeon around babies. They need positive energy. They need love. No matter how you're feeling, it gave me purpose. And I always loved reading children's books to my daughter and my nephews, and it's just something I started with Olivia and Aiden. And I realized that what was really cool is when you watch a child react to the characters in the children's books, and they start to laugh and giggle out loud and point at the pictures, and I realized I still had passion left in me. It was just in a different area. So I had originally written the books without any intent of having them published. They were strictly books for, my grandbabies. And I never illustrated before. And I had Winston, who the grandbabies adore. They love to pull in his ears and play with them, and he's just a love. And I thought, I should try to see if I can illustrate him. YouTube's a wonderful thing. And I found a video on how to turn pictures into cartoons and illustrations. And I started playing with him, and I just was able to do it. It was, a simple, technique. And then I had integrated him with, visuals from stock photography. And the stories just, evolved. But I have to go back a little bit, because once I started illustrating, Winston, I thought, boy, he'd make a great superhero. So I threw on a cape, and I threw on some masks, and I sent them around to some of the salespeople I had supported when I was doing marketing. And some of them have little children, but older than Olivia and Aiden. And the one little girl, her name is Sophia Melora, and she's out in Reading, Pennsylvania. And she said, Daddy, this is really awesome. I like this, but you know what would be really cool? It would be really cool if he had one of those, like Inspector caps with the big, eyeglasses and those kinds of things. And then from there I thought, well, what else could Silly Willy Winston do? You know, he's a tracking dog. I mean, all of his traits serve a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, wouldn't it be cool if he, you know, was not only the inspector and the superhero, but he was an explorer, you know, with the little safari hat and, you know, the binoculars. And then what if he was a pirate, you know? And so they started to evolve that way. And what I wanted to do at the same time with the stories is have some learning in there. You know, if the kids start to learn to enjoy reading, but wouldn't it be great if they learned about some science via Inspector Snout and the Metamorphoses, or Explorer Snout, where they learned that our world is very big and even one desert is very different than all the other deserts out there. And at the same time, integrate all the great creatures that inhabit the earth with us. It gives us a sense of responsibility for this planet. So it just kind of evolved, and I ended up with these 5 books that were basically laid out with an image on the bottom and a copy at the top, and the kids liked them. And I showed them to, out here in Las Vegas, it's fascinating. People think of just a strip, but there's a very creative community out here. And I met some authors, and I said, oh, I wrote some children's books. And they looked at them, and I said, you know, Donna, you should publish these. I said, I don't know how to get a publisher. And they said, no, there's this whole indie craze out there right now that even traditional authors are starting to publish independently because they have more freedom. So I thought, why not? And then I learned how to format it for Kindle, and then I learned how to format it for iTunes, and naturally my background is print because I'm in advertising and marketing. And I learned there are places out there where you can print on demand and you can set it up, and it's just been such a journey. And you know, my life has been changed. I mean, and every child that gets them loves them. And to be honest with you, if I could give them away for free, I would, just to see the expressions on their faces and to hear what they have to say. You know, it's a dream come true.
I mean, while I was researching for the interview, right, I actually read all of your books. So I went through each of your books, and I completely agree with you, because what I found was, even though I'm an adult, I still enjoyed reading them so much. They were so much fun. They were backed up with knowledge, presented, you know, in such a simple, fun manner. And I mean, each book, so if you look at the first one, which is the case of the missing tadpole, so there's the talk of metamorphosis, there's the talk of transformation, growing up, dealing with change. You know, the tale of 2 deserts, your other book deals with the life in the, how do you say that, Mojave Desert and the Gobi Desert, yes. And I mean, the animals there, what it's like living there, the climate. There's also, I mean, then there was another book of yours which talks about, you know, fear and how to address fears, so the fears that children have. And I was thinking back to my childhood about my fear of darkness, and, you know, how my parents dealt with that, of course, and how it was so interesting that, you know, each thing was dealt with beautifully. So